Good morning to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have gathered here this morning to listen to a very important talk from our co-student, Abdul Hakim, and his colleagues. They are here on a very important mission. We want you to give them your maximum cooperation so that you benefit from what they are going to tell you. Okay? Don't make noise. Listen carefully. Take notes. You want to take the notes. And then if you have any question, you ask them. Is that okay?
Yes.
So look at the audience is here.
How are you, please? Good morning. Good morning. One voice above than yours. How are you this morning? It's fine. So, I hope you've all eaten since you went on a break.
Yes.
I've equally eaten wache, so I don't expect to run short. Yes, so before I start, I would like to acknowledge our tutor who is seated with us here, Mr. Osman Abdallah. And also, I have with me colleagues here who are here to help us have an engagement with our colleague students this morning. As Mr. Bash rightly mentioned, my name is Abdul Raafi Mohammed. I also completed here some time back, let's say a decade ago. Yes, and from here I continued my senior secondary school, that's senior high school at Spelcoin SHS. Number 17, that's 17 September. It is part of the day 16. The National Volunteer Day was set up by Ghana Think Foundation. Ghana Think Foundation, which is a social enterprise. Previously, it was an NGO. So actually, in order for us to celebrate the Founders Day, why then don't we use it? Because it was serious, and so tending to do is not just to observe a holy, but to also contribute to our communities through social events, amongst other things. And so today is part of the activities that we are running to also celebrate the National Volunteer Day. And then we are here on behalf of ReSARC. ReSARC is a youth-led organization that is dealing with issues with regard to research, and of course, science advocacy, and also policy drive. So we just want to come here and engage with a very serious issue, that is climate change. And so today is not for me, it is for my colleagues here, my senior comrades here, to engage with you with climate change. And as youth who are growing up to be the next or the future leaders of tomorrow, what do we do to contribute to mitigating the impact of climate change? Tomorrow, when you become leaders and the environment is not safe for you to thrive, then it means that we'll be in chaos and you can't live to see the goodness that you have always envisioned for yourself. So we need to protect the world. We need to make sure that the world is safe for us and, of course, those who are coming after us. climate change is a very serious issue of late, and the world leaders are all fighting together to actually see how we can mitigate the impact of climate change on the planet Earth. So with me this morning, I have a colleague who is back here. He's called Abdul Raafi Mohammed. He's a journalist behind him. So, hello, Raf. Let us see. Yeah. So, those of you who are here, you want to venture into journalism or media. He runs a company, Sanatu Zambang, that is actually involved in social journalism, not just reporting. Oh, Kufo has donated something to this school, not that kind of journalism. He doesn't do that reportage. He kind of address social issues in our communities and how we can use documentaries, video documentaries, how we can use art, how we can use storytelling to actually change issues in our communities. So aside, we have two Rafis with us today. We also have my medical office also here with us, Mr. Rafi Alasan, who is the executive director of GEM Ghana, also a social movement. They're actually vibrant, and some of you who grew up and interested in social activities, you can also see them for mentorship and how we can do. So without much ado, let us give a round of applause. So I'm just handing over the mic to Mr. Rafi Alasan to just tell us, as youth, what we can do in our own respective ways towards climate change. How do we mitigate the impact of climate change on us? He's a very busy man. From here, he's moving elsewhere. So we just want him to speak with you before he goes. So please give him a round of applause.
All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala. I'm very happy to meet you as students. I'm a student as well. I say I'm a student because I'm a teacher by profession, just like your teachers who come to teach you. So every teacher is a student. Why? Because we always do research before we come to teach. No teacher comes to the classroom without doing research. And in doing research, you have to study. So that makes us students. Okay, so teachers who impart knowledge, they also learn by themselves as well. Okay, as our boss has rightly said, we are marking the International Volunteers Day. Though this is not the day or the date. The date is not yet near, but it is near. We have put up some activities to mark the day. That is on 21st, right? So one of them is this program that has been organized by ReSARC. Okay, all right. I am from GEM Ghana. It means Girls Empowerment Movement. Okay, Ghana, and we were established to promote the well-being of girls. But that is not why we are here today. We are here to partner or help ReSARC to have their program on climate change. So I will make my mission here very short. Before I proceed, I would like to express gratitude to ReSARC for inviting us to take part in this program. And you students also, you haven't had the time to sit before us to listen to whatever we have. And the members of staff who are here, we are grateful for raising the occasion. We have been hearing climate change. What is climate change? Once you are students, I expect that you have pieces of paper and pen. I have some data I have to share with you. Okay, so you write down a few things. So the basic definition, that is not important. You don't need to write the definition. Later, maybe we will give to your science teachers and what we have prepared to come to discuss with you, and later they can share that with you as well. So what is climate change? Climate change is a global phenomenon of climate transformation characterized by changes in the usual climate of the planet. That is temperature, the wind, and precipitation. This, I believe, your chemistry teacher might have taught you something regarding to that. That are easily caused by human activities. What are the human activities? Like felling of trees to make charcoal, okay, and the use of cars. The gas that comes out of the cars, okay, it goes a long way to affect our climate, okay. So basically, that is what climate change is the changes in the weather pattern. Some are as a result of human activities. Others are natural, which the human being or man cannot control. But we are going to focus on what man, that is you and I, can control. You and I falls under the brackets of the youth. Who is the youth? Any person, according to UN, between, let's say, 1 day up to 45 years. Okay, that is according to the UN. But other bodies have their definition for the youth. So we fall under the youth. So what can you and I do to ensure that the time we also become responsible adults, we will either leave this status quo. What I mean by what we have come to meet on earth, or we improve upon it, said that the heat that will be experiencing during that time will not be high, but will maintain it to the level we have come to meet. You and I, as youth, we have a crucial role to play. But before I proceed, I have a few questions I would like to pose. If you have an idea, you may raise up your hand, because we have prizes or rewards to be given to students who are able to attend such chances. So I have told you what climate change is, according to the layman. What is in your own idea, or wait, what do you think climate change is? Yes, Abdul Raafi. Any other attempt? During discussions like this or events like this, we don't have a wrong answer. Okay, we are not here as WAEC or as your class teachers or subject teachers trying to find out what you have learned in previous lessons. No, this is an interaction section or session. Okay, all right. So he has done well. Any other attempt? Don't shy. Okay. The advantages of programs like this are enormous. Enormous means so many. One is that you instill confidence in yourself. Okay. Once you are able to raise up your hand and stand up to talk, you are building some self-confidence and self-esteem in yourself. Okay. So take advantage of this kind of program to always express yourself in public. It will teach you the art of speaking to people. All right. Yes, any other idea? All right, as Rahim has said, though he's not into the field of climate change, but he has made an attempt, and it's good. He has brought out weather. Yes, so in the definition of it, there is weather there. So anything that human being will do or nature will do, that will change. Okay, the atmosphere can be termed as climate change. So what are the activities that lead to climate change? I have mentioned one. I said felling of trees. Felling is also part. Using of pesticides and insecticides. Fishing. Okay, as we fish, if you don't engage in fish farming, how do we replace the fishes that we have been consuming or harvesting? Okay, if we engage in felling of trees for charcoal without planting more trees, how do we get those trees back? Mining is also another thing, okay, that affects the climate. Before they get the gold or whatever mineral, they have to clear the what? The land. In clearing the land, they have to cut or uproot the trees that are around the catchment area of the mining site. Quite apart from destroying the trees, they are going to destroy the land, the soil there. Okay? Also acquiring, the stones, the little stones that we use to make the roads. Others use for big buildings. Those materials are got, or that material is got out of the rocks. So they have to engage in a process which we call the quarrying. We have a quarrying site, I think at Buffet area or Yapi. There is another what we call it, Tolugu, is on your way to Bonga. Okay, there are so many sites across the country where we do this quarrying, and it affects this climate change all across the world, not only in Ghana. We are not experiencing climate change in Ghana only. We experience it's a universal phenomenon or a global phenomenon. Okay, all right. So now let's come to what I have been assigned to do. What can you and I, as youth, do to ensure that we mitigate? Mitigate means we minimize, though we cannot control it, because some of them, as a result of nature, like rainfall. Okay, some may be natural, others may be as a result of human activities. Okay, so what can you and I do? Any suggestions? What do you think we can do to improve the environment? Simply put, yes. What's your name? Okay, Abdul Raafi. Okay, avoid putting rubbish in gutters. He has mentioned one, yes. Afforestation. Okay. Any? Yes. What? Okay, so that's she wants to talk about the youth we getting in innovation. Okay. Okay. Yes. Avoid deforestation. All right. Avoid bush burning. Great. Let's you fall down well. But all of what the lady said is a different point. All of what the rest have said, they fall under one. That is education. Okay? We need to sensitize people on how to bush burning destroys the vegetation. So if you do it deliberately, just because you want to and talk about these things. You never know who is listening. Okay, someone in a rural community will listen. Okay, will tune into whatever radio station we are having the conversation on, either in Dabani, in Mampuri, in Goja. This is go a long way. Okay, all right. So now let me explain the other point the lady made mention, or your colleague made mention. She wanted to say that we should make use of technology. Okay, that's we should create. We should make use of science and technology. That is, invent things that will help us to lessen our dependency on the natural vegetation cover. Okay, for instance, there is an innovation whereby we use gas instead of firewood. So if we use gas, natural gas, to cook, then there will not be the need for us to fell more trees in order to get charcoal. Do you understand that? That's an example. There are many. So instead of using charcoal, then there is a substitute. So we as you, we have to be very innovative as we say on this, because there are so many aspects or areas in science. If you will be studying science in the secondary school, be thinking of what you will do to help your sisters and mothers as well as yourselves, okay, to lessen the dependency on charcoal. Because if we do not do that, we'll end up cutting the what? Felling all the trees that we have, and then the world or the land will not be protected. You know, now you don't study agric science, right, in school. You study agric science as a subject. All right. So I wanted to say some. Once you don't study it, then let's ignore that. All right. So that's technology. Yes. Use of mass transport system. If you use mass transport system, what will it do? It will reduce the what gas do our motorbikes and cars emit? Carbon monoxide, right? So if we use assuming we are all in future, we all have cars, and on a daily basis we use our cars. Can you imagine the amount of carbon monoxide that will be in the system? There will be so much pollution. So if there is one car that all of us, when we are going to our work site, I'm a teacher going to teach, you are a nurse or a doctor going to the hospital, then we all, instead of using our individual vehicles, then we'll cut down on the amount of carbon that our individual vehicles will use. Okay, so that's one. Mass transport system must be encouraged to reduce the amount of carbon that our vehicles will be emitting. What other? All right, let me quickly summarize. We can also engage in policy formulation. We try to put down rules and regulations that we must follow to ensure that we don't destroy the vegetation cover that we have. Even if we destroy, but there should be a mechanism in place to replace what we have destroyed. That is why most of the mining zones or areas, government has made it mandatory. Mandatory means must to those companies that are mining that once you clear the area, then you should be thinking of a way of what? Putting back, planting trees to ensure that you don't destroy, though you cannot bring it back to its original form, but you have to, you should have a backup line or a mechanism to plant more trees so that when you leave a site, you will put gravel to cover the pits that you have dug. Then later, the seedlings that you have next, you plant them on that land and move to a new land. Okay? And the areas where they do the sand winning, you know sand winning, going to fetch the gravel to come and fill the place, or fetch sea sand, like Langbong and other places. When you fetch the sand, then you leave some holes there. Okay? That's what we call the sand winning. Okay, so there is a mechanism whereby when you do that, you at an area, then you leave. With time, once it's sand, it will move some sand from some places and then come and fill those holes. But in the areas of double pits, that doesn't happen. Okay, so you need to plant there to cover those or some other things do. Policy advocacy. Okay, simply means speaking for something. So as we are advocating for what? As improving the vegetation, bring it okay. Engage in is to secondary school level. Make sure into or girls' rights or boys' rights or whatever. Try to get yourself involved in such clubs so that you can speak for the environment. Also, there is another thing I want to add, which is the last. Our attitude. We need to change our attitude. Okay? Some of us in our homes gutters. At night, we feel so lazy to go to the washroom to urinate or ease ourselves. Then we'll do it in a as long as you will know the spot you have put it there. 100 years to come, the pollution will still be there. It doesn't decay. Do you understand that? Yes. So if you put this polythene in the gutter, imagine that area. Everybody does that. What happens? That is why we have choke gutters. Those of you who live place, that's where the water will get to. You go and see a lot of polythene bags there. That is around the Jungu Dam. Okay, but that's not the end point. So please, what I'm telling you is that let's change our habits. If you are part of the people who do not, who put those fecal matter and urine in polythene bags and throw in the gutters, please, let's stop. Okay, let's stop. Also, let's avoid or let's minimize for family, we can easily stop our program late and other schedules to attend to. So we are rushing this program. Okay, so please do a lot of advocacy. Okay, how can you do this? You can do this when you join hands with NGOs or institutions that are for the environment, that work to promote the well-being of society. That's the environment specifically. Okay, so you try to give rules that you think the society can abide by to improve the environment. Be innovative, making education. Some boys education. We can go to the radio stations, or you can write articles, and through Mr. Abdul Raafi Mohammed, he can publish them online or in the Junior graphic newspaper. And so when you write these things, you can, Mr. Raafi, views. Okay, express yourself for now. When you give it to him, he will fine-tune it, and you can. I believe he has links to Junior graphic. There is a column where you can put. They can, I think, put your articles there for people to read. You never know who will read it, and this may win you a prize or give you some recognition that you never know. So please, let's change our attitude toward the environment, and that will be good for us in the future. Without much, I say I would like to end here and say thank you once more for making time to listen to us. And we pray that what the little we have said, you will take it seriously and put it in action. Thank you so much.
Please, a round of applause to Mr. Raafi. Yes. So, as I told you, this is not just to talk about climate, but we also. So, as part of it, is to just kind of bring out that confidence in you. I'm now at this point giving the mic to my colleague Abdul Raafi Mohammed to take you through passion and career. And why I'm interested about it is that we are still coming back to the climate as the last thing before we go. But we know this is a junior high school, and as junior high school, to create your awareness about climate change, we know at this juvenile stage you need something regarding your careers that you want to take. I completed here as they said, and even in JHS3, I could not speak English well. I could not speak English. Mr. Mashood just left here. He's no longer here. Did you meet him when he was here? Yes. Once a colleague of ours was sick, he didn't attend class, and I was to report why he never made it to class. And he had a sprain on the leg. So to report that, I said the guy has a sprain, and because of that, he can't wake up. Standing up, I said he can't wake up. If he can't wake up, it means he's dead. Yes. Even in JHS3, I couldn't speak English well. But as I tell you today, just this nation's FAO WHO Joint Codex report, the annual report, is something. I came from here, but now I have a recognition with the United Nations. Aside that, I've been published in Croatia. My works have been translated into Spanish. My works have been translated into Bahasa in Malaysia. My works have been translated into other works. In Ghana at 60, when Ghana were celebrating the 60 years independence, I was part of the few writers whose works were published in the Ghana at 60 anthology. And in 2018, I was published in the World Anthology Peace Anthology that was published in Davos. So no matter where you come from, you can make it there. And we had teachers who were willing to teach us even though we were not ready, and then we didn't see the essence of that. We thought you have to go to a very renowned school. And so that is why we want to just talk a little bit about that. And without much, Abdul Raafi Mohammed will just help us do that. And then please. The more you talk, you are going to get something good. So please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so my session has writing and talking, like I said earlier. So my other name, popularly known is Facebook. Ozam probably, yes. And where I work is that's where I work. Can we mention that? Yes. Yes, so that's where I work. So like Hakim said, I'm into creative journalism. Creative journalism. So what I do is I look at stories around my community. How the students, let's use Hakim for example, has been able to graduate here and get his work published in the United Nations. You get that? That is the kind of story I tell. I don't come and tell about how the condition is bad. I come and tell how the condition is bad, but someone is still move from here and write stories that can reach the United Nations. That is the kind of stories I tell. So you see the difference between me and other journalists. And so I don't focus on the bad aspect. I focus on I get the point. And there's this saying that if you focus too much on negativity, you are always going to go back. Let's say Japanese, Benzerbukani, Ayoni, Kamastanem, Chiabma, Kakuba, is that not how you end it? Because you're focusing too much. But you wake up, oh, it's one only to Chiabma. I need the second. I need the second. At least the one in the south. Right? And I think how much do I want to do? So you been to Kanamai, no, they go to the market. So at the end of the day, what do I do? I'll come to school because I have other options around. Good. So that is how our session is going to go today. We are going to look about positive thinking, okay, and how you can build a career out of positive thinking, okay. So first, make your bed. That is what I want to do. You might feel that it's burden. Hey, I go. So you make it. There is this military general in the United States. He has been one of the best generals they've had, like all successful missions, one of the best. And he said that in their training, I can suggestion for training, military training. Okay, the first thing you do when you wake up is to make your bed. Dinje song kawat ka toilet nomula baharale ka kwabele ka zanga tobula to tanga tetto kamale tilbekala. First thing you do, you wake up in the morning, you make your bed, right? So this is for someone who is a Christian, probably maybe who for example, so woman near the salat bekala. But no man you Muslim no ma da ndegi fajr for IEC. Now let's tell you how Muslims say so get power. I need fajr man. Do you know when they fire? I'm not doing that. Good. So I need at that time man. Somebody a boroma. Can I see now? Good. So that's the next step. To make your bed, man, it's part of whether any Muslim, Christian, what time we fall. I see Malaguru. So you now have 4, 5, 6. Now prepare man. Good. So we have something we say that when you obsess, just come up with your manka all the time, you are going to end up being what? All the time negative. I mean, understand that. Talk a child redemption. Talk about what? So our obsession about what is wrong, you can write it down if you want to. Our obsession about what is wrong, it just brings more wrong. Give what you have. So you have to give thanks. You have to give thanks to what you have. So Aneya, but Akunema, you have to what? Give thanks. So then you what? General Bekala. Who general so now? Bekala. Naku pro onko cha ana yisema. Bekala. Kanya baba mina ma bia yengama. Bekala. Kana cha bless you disturb no okunya show sama. Akunyo ka to oba kala jene na onje. Now the child means that's positive thinking. Yeah. So you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful. And the second thing is, I'm not grateful now. I'm going to use 3 hours school. So maximum, I you guys at least 30 minutes. So I'm good. So that means after an hour now to name. So that alone is what? Positive thinking. The bomb is now to Jumba now. That's first thing. That's you are good to go. So the second is you have to define success for yourself. Now, what is success? To you, what is success? So this direction, we all have our definition of success, right? Okay. So this group, let me find out from. Let me see. Nisan, what is success to you? What is success to you? So then, no, you got your best own or so much. You got you. Okay. So for you, what is success for you? Yes. To have what you want. And what do you want? Yes. Your own house, your own car. What do you want? To be a great person. To make what? To make money. Good. To make money. Yes. So everybody has their own definition of what? Success. Everybody has their own definition of success. Someone success, know that loan, make a lot. But someone success, know that food, make a lot. iPhone Panama. But someone success, Kunyami, Kasakina no. Yes. The Dodgera, or Jeffo, or Jimmy Sakina come football. I mean, understand that. So success in there. So much success, Kunyami. Kahakim Major Window was Ankarashiko. Yes. So what success means? So success. So when you wake up and after prayer, you now what define success for yourself. It didn't matter me and also as nigga. Commando, guys who my well, first of all, you have to have a vision. Vision. Make me vision in your vision. Vision. Vision is what? Vision. Vision like goal. You have a goal, a target. Big a lot. You have a target. You have what? Something you want to achieve. Big a lot. Okay. So when you now know that's the defining success. Now I'm here right? And so you have to decide when you discipline your behavior, then that means avoir lama. Kajani kabachencha nyo for you bekamina mela zushaba. Ajweba tam kambelarame. Akuna mashabe belarame. So tam ka ajweba. You are not yourself. Ame asane. So ka tai zonoma. Amba so shaba kabu sama kajani kafunya tam kambayaramu. Yala kanini atsuanya famu minno. That is negative energy. So you need to what? Change friends. Don't hang around with people who make you feel bad about yourself. Hanga nyala cheche fita, right? Kansolum zambi cheche fita nyawa. Kakana so more cheche fita ya nyonyo dawe kalero. You understand? Don't hang around with such people. Hang around with them. Oh, masa. Yes, that is what you do. You encourage them to do. But if you have friends who don't encourage you to be better, to improve, then that means that you yourself is not disciplined and your friends are not disciplined. So what? Master what? Self what? Discipline. Okay. Now the other one is what? Consistency, endurance, and perseverance. Do you know what that is? Consistency. What does consistency mean? So any footballers like I'll be training, Jackam, training Rabekala. I don't go to Mississippi. Can you put train on that? You understand? So consistency every day you have to what? Practice. Practice. Yes, consistency. So you have to what? Be consistent. Endurance. Endurance is when you need to what? Cultivate the habit of what? Endurance. Cannot to deal with zero. I could to deal with that sounds one thing you're boiling. That means that I told me, but the woman, Kajaya Nika, this is a labna. Do in the end, you remember compass construction. So Mandana GP construction question. So up to now, I still have no idea about how construction works. But you know, by now, how about you not perfect? But when you what? A bit of it. You get that? But probably to Shema, it involves construction. It involves science. That's why I'm working with Hakim. You understand? So if you can, if you self-endure, it's two things. Either like we all do. Whether Karambinia, you walk. Some of you have to walk from long distance, some of you have to ride. That is the endurance. You take the pain because you know that you have a vision. Bekala. You take the pain, you know that because I take a pain, at the end of the day, you know that you are anti. Bekala. Katrendra. You get that? So what? Endure. If you're able to endure with consistency, you get used to it. Bekala. And once you get used to it, you what? Persevere. You will persevere. At the end of the day, you what? You persevere. Angare. Bekala. The one movement, Salapa will go and Sadachi, at the end of the day, they go married. Bekala. So if you are consistent and you can endure, you will what? Persevere. Okay? Perseverance. So no matter how much the teacher can do, no matter will come to one. But Zozomo, over could be Facebook on Makaganda. Yeah, my work has been published in United Nations. So that is what consistency, endurance, and perseverance. I can't do it. Onyala Karamdia, can a scientist and works with me at the same time. Zumobia Fasani, Kakolo, Nakana Fasan Gambi. That's what consistency, endurance, perseverance. So he can do three things that I can do. So yes, he might be working with me, but he cannot bounce some Ogarma. You get that? Because why? He has a vision. The Obojenoni Karamdia, Obononi Karamdia, calling a scientist. So that if you are any kind of calling scientist, that means you understand science and you understand what religion, and combine you are what nobody's closer to you. So imagine if Hakim become this big doctor in Ghana, then you come here. Just imagine what he can do, how he can let other students understand the importance of science and how it relates to what religion. You get that? So what consistency, endurance, and what perseverance. Okay. So the other one is what when you see better, you can do better. Now, abe function. Example, abe function. Ghetto number. Wow. Definitely, but enjoy the ghetto. Dekala. As well as I hear Van Yoruba. There is a high possibility that Van Yoruba Zuri to Zoo Kamkala. Yes. So it is one color, I mean, Bandwala, Bekala. I madam you can be from Parakaya, happen data passing. Done. So, but when you can see better, all right, when you can see better, you can do better, right? So when you can see that somebody like, let's say, Hakim, who natural, that's what university. That means that Agbabivi and the Kama, I am not a that's our university. Bekala, I'm a Kerishukuma, Kasuna Jukuchan University. Oh, I'm on the Kaisa, Jalo Muratini, that's a Katasuna. Bekala. Yes, but if you can see better, now it's two things about seeing. It's either you see it physically like Hakim, based in a moment, or a teacher servant them. That's the what physical seeing. Or the vision, which man is the Jaladi, what? In your head. Come on, Master Legio. Master can see like you see. But Master in your Zonation, immediately you can see. Do you get that?
Yes.
And according to science, it's not about what you can see physically. It's about what you can see in your what? Head.
Yes.
Aku jim table now, Bekala.
Yes.
Otundo tuma. Bekala. To Sonia Anare. To so meet Anabsu. Amatimi the tin no solar to Anab the Tiro Bekala. So that is the word vision. It's that thing that you want to do good things. Bekala. Now you know that. So that could you pap agenda to where you can get cheap. After that, Bekala. So yes, so if you can see better, be it physical or visionary, if you can see it, then what? You can do it. You understand? So sometimes you don't need to see it physically, you need to see it in your what? In your head. So what can I do? What am I good at? I want to be the best mechanic in the world. Kapo any change a fitter. Kapo can fitter my leg. You understand? Painter, to a point that can you move Jan Salad? Shambo naturally painter Jukan. Passion that painting to Shama. What you get it? So have what? See better. You can do better. You get that? Now the next is allow one to speak to him directly. Me ya ni richan afasa no to song ya adwuma na. Dey also now that. But I could palm kwamba la yuma be 10 o'clock nyele be 7 o'clock nyele palm kwamba ajini. Up you now ni. Ayu la tabanle parfasone ni biasene darba chini ka kuzan kajanya akujini ya kai now ni. Aku chance kina sai. You get that? I didn't look what the never plan now. Yes. You understand? So whatever you want to do. So like I said, vision man yelabo, Sakina, goal man yelabo, Sakina. So I connect to Jimmy. Now we told it. Kajola now only Sakina nyele. You get the point?
Yes.
I get down the Sakina nyele. Kajuan Jin Bekala. We hope that I send the Kakana school. Sakina Puya Kaya about the Rima Bekala. So I see. I can't assume now. Did you remember you made your bed? I remember that. Bekala. I hear the song. Kajuani. and repeat it all over. You get what you want. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
So now I have 2 questions. Let me tell you. Okay. So just 2 questions. Which of these? Say, how many of you have a goal? Just raise your hands. Goal. How many have goals? It doesn't matter if you don't have it now. You can start today. But those of you who got, how many of you? Good. All right. Put it down. How many of you are self-disciplined? So you can work on it. If you are not self-disciplined and you have a goal, then that means you have to have self-discipline, right? How many of you have been consistent, enduring, and persevering? How many of you? Good. Yes, like I said, everybody has to accept for themselves. How many of you can see better and do better? So let me inform you. So bien the best I can come and bana kono ma ente de ka wa. Good. Now, when you are asking now to just that I push you now to what the best ya. Good. So that means that we are doing all this. So once we consistently do this, then we will succeed. Okay. Thank you very much.
So another round of applause. Unfortunately, Zone and Yard as well, we are just coming to a close. But before that, I'll just give some few minutes for my boss, Mr. Abdul-Mumin Yussif. He's someone who's very, very passionate about youth development and, of course, social development, and has done enormously in that. He's actually the second person to create the Tamale Hub of Global Shippers, which is under the World Economic Forum. And he's so much enthusiastic about climate change. He's attended forums about climate change in the United States and other places. So let's just give him some few minutes so that he'll just
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bawanur. So, like Abdul Raafi mentioned, my name is Abdul-Mumin Yussif. I was once like you all here. I attended Nuria. My sister here was my junior. So everywhere you go, you meet people that you know. As you are all here, I'll be talking a little on environment and climate change. That's my area of expertise. That's where my expertise lies. But I just want to add more to what my other colleagues have said. You see these are our fingers, are they the same?
No.
And would they be the same?
No.
Why? Can any of you tell me why? My sister, tell me. Why our fingers will not be the same? So get up and you talk. I'll make sure all of you take part. You talk, my sister. Don't be shy. This is a learning process. Don't be shy. Please, don't be shy. Anytime I thought any of your masters ask you any question, please lend me your ears. This is very, very important. Try to always participate in class. Don't be a talkative outside, and inside class, you tend to be a stammerer or you tend to be someone who doesn't talk. It's for your own benefit. So my sister, tell me why our fingers will not be the same. Mention your name first before you you speak. Your colleague cannot even hear you.
I have no idea.
You have no idea. So my brother, you help me. Okay. No, you talk. Feel free. Any answer you that comes in mind, voice it out. Okay. Okay, so you sit down. Let me hear from you. Okay. Let's clap hands for her. What about you? Okay. Let's go. Time is in on our side. Let's go on. And because of what? Have a seat. Can any of you tell me the founder of this Makaranta? Who is the founder? Who is the founder? Okay, let me hear from you. You are closer. Check that what? Let's clap hands for it. I did school here. I have made efforts to learn all this before coming here. Wherever you are going, any journey you are embarking on, try as much as you can to learn 2-3 things about where you are going. So when you get in there, you will even be more conversant with the terrain and how things happens around that side. So let me go straight to the environment aspect. Can any of you tell me the importance of trees? Okay. Super. Let's give her a hand of applause. Any other? Okay. Super. Any other? Okay. Super. Let's give it a hand of applause. Super. The reason why I asked this question is that without trees, we cannot live. The air that we are breathing out now, that's the oxygen. Then we get what in the as we breathe it out. What do we get? Super oxygen. The same as the carbon dioxide, because the carbon dioxide is something that helps the plants to give more this in them. It's the same thing that helps the environment that we live with. So we look at this and the nitty-gritties of environment, trees, and other things. They are very, very important to us. Without them, we cannot live. Imagine areas where you find yourself and there are no trees. How do we feel about that environment? Why is it hot? Super. So let me just let's give a hand. We see this recent floods that are happening. Like the earlier speaker, when he was mentioning, my brother, the two of you, let me your ears say. Let's pay much attention, okay? When he made mention about gutters being choked as a result of plastic rubbers and other things that are being thrown haphazardly. When it rains, the water will carry it where? Onto the gutters. Where is it going to land? It has a main connection. Every gutter has its length, where it links up with. So as it flows, it will get to a particular place that it cannot. And what will happen? There will be flood. Because when the gutters are choked, the water cannot flow. And the excess of water that comes, where will it go? It will run into other people's homes. So there's a need for us to be self-disciplined. if we are not disciplined, even within the school compound, as soon as you finish taking sachet water, make sure you locate dustbin, then you dispose it there. Don't throw it away anyhow. We have bags that we are moving with. You see my bag, if I open and I show you sachet waters and other things that I keep in it, it will marvel you. And it isn't that I cannot throw it anyhow that way, but it's not a good habit. When I throw and you throw and she also threw, another person threw, where is it going to land? Gutters. And what will happen? So we need to be self-disciplined. Our environment plays very, very important role on us. Likewise, there's a need for us to also take it up seriously, take good care of it. Without environment, we cannot live. And without us, the environment too cannot live. So I only want to engage you much. We'll find time and come back here again because of today being Juma. Time isn't on our side, and there's a need for us to prepare. But I just want to end with few things for you all to know. Every school-going child, lend me your ears now, please. Everybody should pay attention and listen to this. Every school-going child, your future, the turning point of you is JSS 3. Your JSS is the turning point. That will determine whether you will be somebody tomorrow. What I mean in terms of academic or any profession you are aiming or you are dreaming of, like my brother was talking about, us having goals, vision, and other things. There's a need for all of you, even if you don't have goals for yourself, there's a need for you to start setting goals for yourself. You set vision for yourself. Every school-going child, your turning point is JSS to SS. That's the turning point of every student, whether you like it or not. That's a true fact. And like I earlier on started with my hands, they are not the same. Even if you are coming from the same house with someone, you are not in the same room. Even if you are in the same room with the person, you don't sleep at the same place. Your sleeping places are different. The same thing applies to all of us. As we are here, we are now family, and there's a need for us to take our studies serious. Our parents, they are suffering. We need to make them happy. Please, 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 please. Let's put jokes aside. For those of us, when our masters come, we give them names. We say that, oh, this master, he like advising us. Some of us, we didn't get that opportunity like we are doing to you today. But upon all that struggles, look at where we are today. I've toured around the globe, not only Ghana, across the world, so many places, and it's as a result of hard work and determination. So I want to appeal to all of you. Please, 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 my brothers and sisters, I'm pleading you, please. We also want tomorrow, all of you, you will come back here to let others also know that you were once here, like my brother rightly mentioned to you, Abdul Hakim. How many of you are aware that he's good here? If not today. And not only him, this school has produced doctors, pharmacists, nurses, teachers, and I know for sure maybe some of the teachers are here teaching you, and they will tell you that, and you look at it and say, oh, this master is just, he just wants to give us stories, but it's not stories. My passionate appeal to you all is to put jokes aside and be serious with your studies. Whatever your teachers teach you, when you get back home, please, 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 try to reflect back over it. Please, please, please. Like my brother rightly mentioned, practice, practice, practice. Practice made man perfect. And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So, to all of us, let us put jokes aside. Anything that your teacher, they teach you and you don't understand, don't be shy. You are here to learn, not to make fun on each other. You are here to learn. The purpose of you being here is to learn. So anything that you don't understand, Please, 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 let them know. Don't keep quiet. Any question you have, voice it out. Don't keep quiet over it and be tapping your colleague to say that, oh, can you ask this question? No. Confidence starts with asking questions, trying to be inquisitive. It boosts your confidence level. Like I was asking my sister to get up and tell me why our fingers are not the same. These are some of the things that will help us. So because of today being Juma, we'll find time and come back here. So I'll take you through on the climate change, the effects of climate change, like the floods and other things, and the storm that comes. So I wouldn't want to take much time. I want to end here by encouraging you all to take our studies serious. We are tomorrow leaders. You are all leaders, not even tomorrow. You are leaders. My reason is that in your houses, in your homes, in your rooms, you contribute in one way or other in making your houses stronger. There are certain times that you'll be there, your father or your mother will ask you of your opinion on something. So please, ask them when they ask you, don't keep quiet and say you don't know. Try as much as you can to contribute your little quota. So without much ado, I want us to give a hand of applause for all of ourselves for their attention. And also, my last one will go to your teachers. You need to appreciate them. Please, 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 please. They are doing a lot. They are doing a lot for us. And there's nobody like them, whether we like it or not. Talk of medical doctors, pharmacists, what. We all went through them. So I want us to give them a hand of applause. And also to Abdul Hakim, because he's the one who made this successful. He's the one who invited us. I was in another meeting, that's why I delayed. But because of what the commitment and the seriousness in him, I have to let that meeting go and rush to this place to meet you. So I want you to give him a hand of applause. So thank you all for your attention. And if any of you have questions or any concern, you can voice it out to us. Don't be shy to ask questions. Okay?
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your attention. I think time is far spent, so I'll just like Madam Latifa to just close us.
I think I'll do it on behalf of Madam Latifa. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. In fact, we take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Much more particularly Mr. Abdul Hakim and our speakers. Yes. In fact, we are very much grateful. In fact, we didn't know this is what we're going to have. We will have do it today. We have find a different day for it. But since we have seen it, we will not let it end here. We are going to promise our speakers that God will, inshallah, we shall schedule a date for you so that we come back and give us full lectures on whatever we wanted to do. Because today is Friday. We all know that Fridays we don't have mic time. So please, let's give a big round of applause for our speakers. Mr. Hakim. Yes. In fact, I'm very much surprised. So I want you to not just what we have done here, but you know who I am and you know my thought. So you link me up in person with our speakers, so that maybe God will will take up something. Thank you very much. Thank you. So you have heard it all. Yes, we were talking about Mr. Hakim. We also have Madam Mariam. She's still as present. Mariam Jabir, Dr. Mariam. Is it Professor or Dr. Amin Anta? All of them, they all passed through this school. So we have been telling you, we have been telling you, it isn't hearsay. We have been telling you, and you are seeing the signs now, isn't it? So never give up, isn't it? Don't ever give up. Thank you so much for your participation.